Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about a technology that doesn't just predict the future, it actually tells you how to create the best one possible. So let's dive right in.
I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, doesn't it? But get this, it's already happening. Companies like Amazon are using a strategy they call anticipatory shipping. They're using data to predict what you're about to buy, and then they ship it to a warehouse near you before you've even hit that add to cart button. Crazy, right?
And the magic behind this is a technology called prescriptive analytics. It's really the holy grail of data analysis. It goes way beyond just looking at what happened in the past or guessing what might happen. It gives you clear, actionable advice on what you should be doing right now to get the best outcome.
But this isn't just some abstract concept. So how is it actually changing the game for real companies today? We're about to see how some of the biggest names out there are using it to gain a serious advantage.
And you can't talk about this without starting with the company that pretty much rewrote the rules for an entire industry by mastering this stuff. Netflix.
$1 billion. That is the insane amount of money Netflix saves every single year. And the secret behind that number, it's not just luck. It's a deep, really strategic investment in artificial intelligence and, you guessed it, prescriptive analytics.
So how exactly are they pulling this off? Well, forget about old-school TV pilots, which were famous for flopping most of the time. Netflix uses its data to predict if a new show will be a hit with an incredible 80% accuracy. That means they're not just saving a bunch of money on promotions, they're making sure that almost every dollar they spend on a new show is a really smart, calculated investment.
And this just shows you how powerful their system is. A huge 75% of what you watch on Netflix isn't something you went looking for. Nope, it's what their prescriptive engine put right in front of you. They aren't just guessing what you might like, they are actively shaping your viewing habits.
All right, next up, let's look at a company that used this same playbook not just to grow, but for an absolutely epic comeback. This is the story of how Starbucks used data to brew its recovery.
So back in the 2008 financial crisis, Starbucks got hit hard. Its stock just plummeted by over 50%. But then, look at that rebound and the incredible growth that came after. That wasn't an accident. It was a complete shift in their strategy. See, before the crisis, a lot of their decisions were based on gut feelings, experience, and intuition. But afterwards, the company switched to a super disciplined, data-first approach. They basically decided to stop guessing and start knowing. And this data-driven strategy is built on some seriously powerful tools. Take Atlas, for example. It's not just some map. It's a system that chews on traffic patterns, local demographics, even the schedules of nearby offices to prescribe the absolute perfect spot for a new store. And from there, they use AI to personalize offers for you and even predict when an espresso machine is about to break down so they can fix it before it ever goes offline.
And the result of all that? Well, in 2024, Starbucks reported a net income of almost $3.8 billion. That's what happens when you transform into a data technology company that just happens to sell amazing coffee.
Okay, so we've seen what this tech can do, and it's pretty incredible. But how does it all actually work under the hood? Well, it's really built on 5 core pillars. Let's take a quick look at the overall blueprint, and then we'll highlight a couple of the most important ones.
So here's the blueprint. It all starts with hybrid data. That means using every kind of information you can get your hands on. Then, it needs integration, so your predictions and your recommendations are working together, not in separate little boxes. It also has to account for side effects. The unintended ripples of any big decision. And finally, the whole thing runs in a constant loop of adaptation and feedback, so the system is always learning and getting smarter. You can almost think of it as a living, breathing operating system for making decisions.
Let's just zoom in on that first pillar for a second. Hybrid data. Most businesses are laser-focused on structured numbers, but that's just a tiny piece of the pie. The real treasure is in the 80 to 90% of data that's unstructured. We're talking social media comments, customer reviews, even video footage. This is the stuff most companies just let slip through their fingers.
Now, to understand that adaptive algorithms pillar, I absolutely love this analogy from Atanu Basu, who's a real pioneer in the space. He says prescriptive analytics is like driving a car. The system has to constantly see what's coming up, re-predict what's going to happen, and then re-prescribe the best move, just like a driver reacting to stop-and-go traffic on the freeway. So as we start to wrap this up, it's really clear that we're looking at a fundamental shift. This isn't just about getting slightly better reports or forecasts anymore. This is about changing the entire way we make decisions from the ground up. And that right there is the single most important takeaway from all of this. We've officially moved past just trying to guess what's going to happen. With prescriptive analytics, the whole goal is to use data to actively shape the future you want.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. When this kind of power becomes accessible to anyone, not just the giants, who's going to lead the way tomorrow? The winners won't be the ones who just react to whatever changes come their way. They'll be the ones who can prescribe and create change themselves. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.